Hey guys, I'm sure you're like, oh thank God you're done with your Greece vlogs. I'm so sorry, but I've been wanting to go on that trip for so long. I had to vlog the crap out of Greece. Anyways, we are back to makeup and today we're doing a full face of e.l.f. I'm trying out their new Fine as Fleck glitter eyeshadows. I keep wanting to say Fleek. Fine as Fleek glitter eyeshadows and their new liquid contour bronzer. And then obviously everything else is e.l.f. Okay, let's start with hydrating our lips. I'm going to be using e.l.f.'s Glow Reviver Lip Oil in the shade Honey Talks. I love this. I haven't tried this consecutively because I don't use lip oils or lip glosses that often, so I can't give you a full-on review on how amazing it is. But I love the applicator. It reminds me so much of my favorite lip oil lip gloss from Too Faced. I love this plushy applicator. This is like the same vibe and it just feels so good on your lips. Product-wise, I haven't worn it enough to really have strong opinions about it. But overall, I do like this. I love the thickness of it. So that lip oil is a yes. Practically everything from e.l.f. is a yes with me except for eyeshadow. So speaking of eyeshadow, let's start with testing out their new Fine as Fleck glitter eyeshadows. I got 4 shades. There are 6. I think the other 2 were like a gold. I do not like gold eyeshadow. And like another shade I just wouldn't wear. I'm guessing this one. This is in the shade White Hot. Oh wait, no, I feel like Champagne Showers is probably the one that's supposed to be a dupe of Urban Decay's Space Cowboy. And I hope they are dupes because I pretty much love everything from e.l.f. except their eyeshadows. Their eyeshadows, I'm not afraid to say, suck ass. I always donate my e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes because they are so dry, they're horrible. I'm hoping these prove me wrong. If they're supposed to dupe Urban Decay's Moon Dust shadows, and I think these are at least $20. So again, that is White Hot. That is so pretty. That's super pretty. Again, that is Pop Off Pink. Ooh, like looking at it here, it looks gray, but in the camera, it looks pink, right? That looks like blue gray. But if I go like right here, doesn't that look like pink or red? Okay, I'm very intrigued with this one, so I'm gonna swatch this one first. Again, this is Straight Fire. It does kind of feel like the Urban Decay one, except the Urban Decay has a lot more grit. You can feel the glitteriness in there. But that is Straight Fire. Pop Off Pink. I mean, this just looks like we're a little deeper than that. And then let's go in with Champagne Showers. That's really pretty. Kind of expected how I thought it would look like. White Hot. This looks like it would be a good inner corner highlight or just a highlight in general. Yeah, so you can see how much more champagne this is compared to White Hot. So let me try Space Cowboy on. There's like a coolness, like it feels cool. I'm sorry, but just watch, you can see how much better that looks. I don't want to use the word moist, but it looks moist. You can see that it looks a lot more wet compared to this. So this is Urban Decay and this is Champagne Showers. And honestly, this looks like any type of eyeshadow you could get in a palette. I don't see why it's that more expensive. I can see the price point with this. This is very unique. White Hot is definitely like the inner corner. This one's Pop Off Pink. You can see how much more red brown Straight Fire is. I actually really like Straight Fire. I feel like these are just shades you could get in any palette. Okay, let's start off with Champagne Showers, the one I'm expecting to be my favorite. I would not use this with a brush, just like I wouldn't use the Urban Decay one with a brush. So I'm going to be using my finger for all of these. Okay, well, off the bat, this is already better than any other e.l.f. eyeshadow I used. I can see the vibe, how it's trying to look. I'm guessing that's what they're trying to do, right? It's trying to be a dupe of the Urban Decay. It doesn't have that wet look. Can you even see it? But honestly, if I never had the Urban Decay eyeshadow and I tried this on, I would be like, ooh, that looks super wet. But if I bought the Urban Decay one after this, then I would be like, oh, this looks like the Sahara Desert compared to Urban Decay's. So let's go in with White Hot. See, this would be such a pretty highlight shade. That's not something I would personally put all over my eyes. I would love that as an inner corner highlight. So that's White Hot. You know what? I'm gonna put Pop Off Pink and Straight Fire on this side. I have shades like this in palettes. For some reason, on Pop Off Pink, the glitter looks a little bit more fine. That's almost looking kind of like a shimmer eyeshadow versus glitter, but you can still see the glitter in there. Not a huge fan of Straight Fire. It looked cool in the pan, even though this isn't a shade I love and I lean more towards a light pink. I would actually wear this realistically. I guess on preference, it's just what color you like. Do you like a light pink? Do you like a taupey brown? Okay, so I decided to go with Straight Fire all over the lid. I put some of White Hot on the brow bone. So I actually filmed the part when I was trying these on the other day. And now after trying these on in the bathroom mirror again, like these lights make everything look good. I feel like now I can safely say I'm not a huge fan. No matter how much I pack on, the pigment just isn't there. I know there's supposed to be glitters, but glitters still have pigment. And this, if I bought these in Ulta, honestly, I would be returning these. I bought them on the e.l.f. website and they don't do returns. I don't think I'm ever gonna like e.l.f. eyeshadows because they're not pigmented enough. They're always so dry and just there's no oomph or anything unique about them or good. They're hard to blend. Just like the denim palette I use, like I had to really keep digging my finger in there to get any sort of pigment. So for me, these are a no. The next thing though on the list, we're gonna go in with eyeliner. This I love, but it's not for me because she does transfer on my oily lids. So I can't wear her every day or go out because then I'll have that black transfer. But I mean, I could use her as videos. I think when I used this the first time, I was weirded out because that was my first eyeliner that separated. Like you could see the water and the black ink separating. But then after buying more and more eyeliners, after this one, I noticed a lot of them do that too. But price-wise, if you're looking for a good drugstore eyeliner, and you don't have oily lids, then I would totally recommend this. So I would actually say this is a yes if you don't have oily lids. Oof, I might have shaked too much because there's a lot of ink coming out. That is not normal, e.l.f. Don't betray me now after I just spoke so highly of you. Do you see all that gloop? I feel like I need to take my recommendation back after all of this happening right now, after it just leaking. But then again, my favorite NYX Epic Ink Liner leaks. See, that is gonna be so hard to clean up since it gave me that giant glob right there. But when this works, I love it. She pushes out black ink. I can't say that for a few liquid eyeliners. Like KVD's eyeliner, barely any ink comes out. It's never that pigmented. So hey, at least she always gives me black ink each time. Okay, let's go into something I do love from e.l.f. and that is their primer. So just off the bat, yes, this is a definite yes. Even though I do not wear foundation all day for 8 hours, like I can't give you a test with that. But in terms of it like letting my foundation stick onto it, it's amazing with that. And yeah, I just have no problems. There's so many products when I use them and like I just know, like my skin knows. I know that, oh, that's not gonna work for me, or oh, I'm not gonna like that. I was weirded out at first with how sticky this was because I only ever had those silicone primers. And I feel like e.l.f.'s primer is such a new thing. I've never felt primers like this. And I don't think this was supposed to be a dupe for anything. So this, I will give them credit because I think this is original. Anyways, so my point is this is a yes. Okay, foundation. I'm actually gonna use their putty primer applicator to try on the foundation because I want to use as much e.l.f. products as I can. This is the type of foundation I need when I'm testing out products. Like if I need to try on different blushes and I have to wipe off the foundation, reapply a foundation, try it again. This has been my go-to with that because I'm not going to be using my $50 House Labs foundation to experiment and then wipe it off. She's almost finished with how much I use her to experiment with other makeup. She's in a squeeze tube, it's easier. I could technically use my Juvia's Place because she's also affordable, but that one's very heavy, full coverage. This is a foundation I'm going to go back to and keep buying because I always need some kind of foundation like this when I'm testing out products. Yeah, I want to see how the putty primer applicator works foundation wise. See, even when I go like this, I could feel the primer like holding my wrinkles down there. It's more on the full coverage side, but it does kind of get a little cakey. I feel like the brush did a good job. The concealer, this one is the Hydrating Camo Concealer. I'm in the shade Medium Sand. I can't remember what I was looking for, but it was in some Reddit thread and people were talking about their favorite e.l.f. concealers because I don't know if there's just one more or two more, but everyone was saying this one was the best one, so I bought it. I don't hate her and I don't love her. And I know I don't love her because I did not have the same reaction with her like I did with the Say concealer, and when I tried Ilia concealer again, I don't have that reaction with this concealer. It's kind of like, as you can see, it is hydrating. Everything I've used right now, the foundation, the concealer, these would be perfect for my drier folks. So this is my 3rd time using it. See, like, I don't know what to say. It's like I don't have a love and I don't have a hate for it. It's getting really deeply into this line I have here. I do not see that line on my face, but as soon as I put concealer, I'm like, where the hell did that line come from? There are so many concealers that do not show that line, but after a few hours, that line shows up. But I mean, the fact that I'm instantly already seeing this crease line, do you see that? Isn't a good sign. It's just not a love or hate. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, after going back to the bathroom and checking my skin, now I remember why I didn't like the foundation is that it really enlarges my pores. Like, see here, with all the lights, they look fine. But I go to the bathroom and it's like, this is why I do not wear it outside, and I use it for when I'm playing, she's my playing around makeup. So I think now is the time to play with the new Camo liquid bronzer and contour. I got it in the shade Light, shade 3. So I really want to compare her to my Say liquid bronzer because she's the only one I have that looks like this. I don't know who else was trying to copy with this, but I feel like it could be Say, but then again, it also could be because their blush looks just like this. And this was kind of a dupe for Rare Beauty's blush, but the packaging doesn't look the same. But who knows? This one's Say Sand and this is e.l.f.'s Light. So Sand, you can see it's very thin. e.l.f.'s is very thick. It's way thicker. It's way more, look how much, wow. She's just going. She's going, holy crap. Dude, see, I'm gonna need like, hold on. I'm gonna need like this shade. I'm not here. That's what the colors look like again. I'm gonna put a tiny dot there. Tiny. Okay. It's tapping away nicely. It's honestly spreading really beautifully. I mean, it's spreading like it should be. It's not looking patchy. It's not sticking to one area. It's spreading beautifully. So already instantly this is a yes. First impressions wise, I wouldn't mind sticking to this. Like, I would be okay if this was the only liquid bronzer I had. I can't tell you right now if it's a hardcore dupe of Say, but it feels like it. I might have put a little bit too much on this side. If you love your really pigmented blushes and contours, then you would definitely love this because you need so little. See, I want to see what happens like when it dries down. Like how hard do I have to work for it? No, I really think that blended out beautifully. In the mirror, I swear it looks really good. It looks, I don't want to say airbrushed, but it's looking really smooth, even on all my acne going on over here. And you know what's funny? And I feel like they're kind of the same formula, is the blush. I do not like the blush. The blush is too pigmented for me. Everyone's saying this is a dupe for Rare Beauty. I did not like this. It could be the color. I tried it once and just didn't want to touch it ever again. This is in the shade Peach Perfect. This is one of my favorite, even though it came like this. I noticed so many of my e.l.f. brushes are super cheap. It never bothered me. Like, I'm so used to e.l.f.'s brushes being like, eh, if they work, they work. I am so picky with my peaches. I need the perfect amount of orange and pink. I lean slightly more orange with the peaches. I mean, because in real life, peaches are more orange. If it is a dupe for Rare Beauty's blush and you need a more affordable version, then go for it, but honestly, this isn't something I would buy again. Looking in the bathroom mirror, it just doesn't look as smooth as I want it. Okay, now with brows. This is also something I'm in the middle with, and this I feel like is preference because there are some people who like really creamy brow pencils and some who want it really stiff, and I'm more on the stiff side. But she's in the middle. She's not too creamy and she's not too stiff, but I would still prefer the stiff one. It wasn't until I was reading reviews, in my mind I'm like, why would you want the really creamy one that easily spreads, that you can't control, you can't manage? I noticed the good reviews were the people who had thinning eyebrows or barely had any hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. I feel like brow pencil is really a preference. Oops, I'm swatching this for you and she just broke off. That's not good. I'm just saying, I personally don't want all that ink. I feel like the more ink, the more creamy, the more product on my brows makes my brows look even thicker and more fake. This is not a brow pencil I would buy again, but I feel like she's a perfect in-between of a creamy pencil and a dry one. Okay, with brow gel, I do like this. Brow gel is something that is still confusing to me because brow gel wasn't a thing. I feel like I've never really heard of brow gel till a few years ago when ABH became so big and people focused on their brows when ABH came out. Then we got more into brow stuff. Before that, I don't remember anything about brow gels. You know what? I've looked up why people are buying brow gels, and I get it for the people with really thick, fluffy brows. But there has never been a time where I've seen someone and my mind goes to like, girl, you need brow gel. Never has come through my mind. You know what I notice? If there's flaky mascara on someone's eyes, if your eyeliner is bleeding, that happens to me a lot. If your bronzer is really orange. But brows, I've never once looked at a person and was like, you know, you really need some brow gel. So for me, brow gel's not like a big thing. But now after buying this is tinted. I think I'm just gonna stick to the tinted brow gels because I tested her out on this side and my Rare Beauty one on this side. Everyone loves that Rare Beauty brow gel. And I could still see that clear gel on the Rare Beauty one. And I was like, ooh, I do not like that. I didn't see it on this side because this is tinted. The Rare Beauty and the Patrick Ta. I feel like no matter how many people say like, oh, you can't see that clear gel on my eyes, I can see it. I see it on mine all the time. My point is I'm sticking to the tinted brow gels. I love this. When I tested them out, I had them on for 13 hours. The Rare Beauty one is like a gel where it hardens. You can kind of feel a crunchiness. And the e.l.f. one doesn't have that crunchiness. You could feel your brow in one straight line, but I don't think it would hold, because I know a lot of people like that. I don't think it would hold this brow up, if that's what you want. But then the Rare Beauty one does. For me, it's not about getting all these up. It's just kind of keeping them tame. I would take this Wow Brow, this is in the shade Neutral Brown, over the Rare Beauty brow gel that everyone loves. This has made me realize that I just want to stick to tinted brow gels. Okay, mascara, another thing I'm going to talk about. If you've seen some of my videos, I don't like mascara. It's never been a big makeup product to me. But on our Greece trip, I did bring my Cali Ray and the Too Faced, what's the sex one? The waterproof one. Better Than Sex? Anyways, so I wore this when we went out to dinner and had no problems. On the fourth day, I was like, you know what? Let me try the Too Faced one. I tried it on and we came back from dinner and there were little flecks of mascara. I've never really worn mascara for a full day. So that intrigued me. When we got back home, I used this for a full day and there were just very, very tiny flecks, but you couldn't see it from here. So when I Googled it, a lot of people are saying these type of mascaras, oh my gosh, they're the best for being flake free. So I tried this the next day to compare it and she flaked a tiny bit less than this, but there was still a little bit of flaking. So at first I was just gonna use my e.l.f. Big Mood mascara because this is all I had, and I've said so many times that I loved her, especially on my lower lashes because I hate long spidery lashes. She just makes them look shorter and fatter. After trying these two out, I Googled again what are really good flake-free mascaras. A lot of e.l.f. popped up actually, but I just went for the e.l.f. Lash and Roll Mascara, and I used her the other day for the first time. Long day, came home and was like, oh my gosh, there's no flaking. So I was like, okay, that could have been a first time beginner's luck kind of thing. So I wore her again yesterday and she didn't flake. So now I'm wondering, is it because she's brand new and that's why she's not flaking? It's hard to tell, but I was so shocked because the fact that I was so excited over mascara tells you how much I love this. There's no smudging, there's no flakes at all. I was just like, it can't be this good. When these two expensive ones had some flakes and this had absolutely zero. But I think the difference is since these are waterproof, they're obviously better waterproof wise. When I yawned and I had a little bit of water coming out, then I noticed this spot right here flaking. So, you know, not something I would wear to a wedding. But the reason I always buy waterproof is because people say that it's better for if you have straight lashes and you want to keep them curled. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that too. So I always bought waterproof. But this one says you don't need an eyelash curler. I tested that out too. I had one side that I curled my lashes, and when I didn't, there's still a slight curve to this, but they're not completely straight. And it did curl and keep the curl of these lashes, but obviously it wasn't like this, like how this side was. So that kind of blew my mind that it gave me a curl without curling my lash, and it kept it there, like they weren't drooping at the end of the day. You're never gonna find any other videos of mine where I'm just raving about mascara. There is not one video where I'm like, oh my gosh, I freaking love this mascara. I'm never excited over mascara. A lot of mascaras weigh my lashes down. They're already straight. See, and I totally forgot to curl my lashes, but who cares? I'm sorry. I'm sure everyone else is like experienced with lashes and they're like, oh my gosh, you're such a noob. You didn't know that? It's a love for me. The girl who hates and just never understood mascara. Okay, so I actually have never tried e.l.f.'s Halo Glow Beauty Wand, the dupe for Charlotte Tilbury's, because that highlighter is one of my favorites. And the fact that I've had the Charlotte Tilbury one for like a good 8 years and it's still not close to being done. And that's what I use for like every event where I'm wearing makeup. I got in the shade Champagne. This is a little bit more white and champagne-y compared to my Charlotte Tilbury one. I think that's freaking gorgeous. It looks so smooth. I put the Charlotte Tilbury one here. I feel like there's a little bit more pink in Charlotte Tilbury, and this has more white and champagne. I feel like my fingers kind of took all of that away. Oh, you know what? Let me try the Hot and Flashy brush just because it has that angle. Honestly, I kind of want to try the Charlotte Tilbury on the other side just to see how well that one works and if it looks better. So I like that. It looks very, very clean and dewy. It's not too blinding. I had to put like 3 layers of that. I just wish Charlotte Tilbury put this in different packaging. It's just so unsanitary. I feel like this is gonna explode. Oh, yep, there, look, it exploded. Jeez, that could cover my whole face. Dude, that is like $10 right there. How am I even, how? Let me just wipe this off here. But I'm gonna tell you right now, after trying on the e.l.f. one and knowing how this works, I would still buy this over the e.l.f. and this will always still be my liquid go-to highlighter. Even though she's has the worst packaging ever. I'm gonna buy a new one. See, and that shows you how much I like something. If I've had it for like a decade and I'm gonna go buy another one and not go and find a different one to test out, like, then you know I love it, because I just love it so much. See, that looks so natural. I feel like here you could see more of that white, and the Charlotte Tilbury has more like rosiness in there. Oh, and by the way, the e.l.f. highlight washed completely off and the Charlotte Tilbury one is still there. Is she like supposed to be waterproof? Because I scrubbed that over with soap and she's still there. Oh, I forgot to mention these two. This green concealer, not my favorite, but I leave it on my heavily red acne and like I let it dry so that when I tap it away it doesn't just spread. But no matter how long I let it dry, it still stays pretty liquidy, where it's practically useless because I need the green to stay on top of my red pimple. But since it easily spreads, it's not doing its job. And with this, I actually really love this, the Halo Glow Beauty Wand. I would gladly take this over their liquid blush. I don't know how it compares to the Charlotte Tilbury blush that they copied, but I have a feeling since I love their highlight so much, I'm probably gonna love their liquid blush just as much and more than this. And now we're on to lips, and this will be it. Love triangle lip filler liners. Kind of the same concept with brow pencils. Too creamy, I hate, because it easily slides. Like, my lips are not even, but like it easily slides and like gets away from my actual lip. And if it's too stiff, it kind of like pulls on my lips and doesn't give me a nice way to shape around them. So like I need one exactly in the middle, and that is their Love Triangle lip filler liner. They are my favorite lip liner. See, can you see how it's shaped? I don't know if I'm gonna go in with a nude lipstick or a magenta or a red right now, but I just want to show you guys how this works. See, that angle just makes it so easy. And again, it's not too creamy. And it's not too stiff. If I could only have one lip liner, it would be this. but I think they only have like 5 shades. I need them to release like all the lip liner shades in the world, and I would only ever buy this. You know what? Let's just stick with the brown. We're in fall. Okay, this one is in the shade Cocoa. What line is this? Seriously Satin. So these I love. Just like the liner, it is so hard to get a good balance between too dry and too moisturizing, and they are the perfect balance, just like the lip liner. So honestly, I'm satisfied with these. Again, I feel like a big reason for the affordability is the lesser quality packaging and the amount of product you get. Because if you put so many of these products inside a bougier packaging, they would sell for so much and you wouldn't even know it's e.l.f. See, it just slides on. It's more waxy versus creamy. It kind of feels like you're putting lip balm on. Okay, so there you have it with the full face of e.l.f. I want to quickly do a hell yeah to like a mid and a hell no. Okay, let's start with the hell yeahs. We're in the e.l.f. section and I'm like, dude, these are the products you need to buy from e.l.f. like right now. This is that section. So we got the primer. She's affordable, she works, she's fun to work with. I have absolutely nothing bad to say. Lash and Roll mascara, you saw how much I love this for someone who hates mascara. So she's in my hell yes. Just throwing in my brush cleaner. She's my favorite product overall from e.l.f. My e.l.f. small stipple brush. Before cream and liquid brushes became so huge these past few years, I was using her for blushes. She's one of my oldest brushes. Same with these. These brushes have not let me down. Again, they're extremely old. She's always worked with my blushes. These are always my go-to smudge brushes. The lip liners, these are a hell yes. Even though the brow gel is fairly new to me, I would give her a hell yes. Same with the liquid bronzer I just tried. Again, maybe in the next 4 times I use this, it could be a no, but I don't know what could go wrong. I mean, I tried it, nothing went wrong. Like, what could go wrong the next time I use it, you know? So yeah, I'm putting her in my hell yes. And last are the lipsticks, the Seriously Satin ones. They're creamy, they're not dry, they're very pigmented. Okay, my midsection, she would be actually more towards of a hell yes, but I feel like I haven't played and used her enough. And the fact that in those times I've used her, I didn't feel a strong connection. That's why I'm not putting her in the hell yeah, but she's leaning towards more of a hell yeah. Foundation, I love working with her. This will be my go-to play around foundation, but not something I would wear. Concealer, again, I have no feelings. I don't love or hate this one. And same with the Halo Glow stuff. Like, there's not a pure I'm in love and there's not a oof, I don't want to touch you again kind of thing. The Big Mood, this is hard because she was going to be in my hell yeah, but after using mascaras full day versus just her videos, I don't know how she works full day. Same with the liquid eyeliner and same with the brow pencil. Okay, this one's hard too because it's not a really hardcore no, it's more like a meh, like okay, it's between hell no and mid. But now looking at my hell no's, there's only one hell no, and that is an overall hell no, which is any kind of eyeshadow from e.l.f. You know what's funny? The more I think about the glitters, the more I'm not liking them. There would be a lot more eyeshadows with me, but again, I donate all my e.l.f. eyeshadows because they are horrible. That e.l.f. eyeshadow stick is a hardcore hell no. Their eyeshadows are always so dry. You always have to dig in there to get any sort of pigment. When I used these the first time the other day, I was like, okay, they're pretty, you know, they're giving the glitter. At least they're slightly better than these eyeshadows. But today, as I went to go put on this eyeshadow, I was like, holy crap, that's really hard to get pigment out of. And I don't know how many times I layered on my eye, but it was a lot. I really had to like dig in there to get pigment. And I was like, you know what? I'm just making excuses. It's acting the exact same as all their other eyeshadows do. So yeah, I didn't think I would be throwing these new eyeshadows in the hell no, but I just did. That is my review of all my e.l.f. products. I have a feeling this is going to be a really long video because I haven't spoken about makeup in a long time, so I feel like I'm just excited to talk about makeup again. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one.